Hi everyone. In this video I'm gonna show you guys how to draw a dragon. I got a few inquiries as to how I draw my dragons, given that I shared some art with dragons recently. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through and teach you guys how I do it. It's pretty simple, but it can be complicated, especially if you go into details and whatnot. But for this one, we're gonna focus on drawing an Eastern dragon. As you guys might know, there are different types of dragons out there. A lot of like Western dragons that you see in like medieval times or with knights, and there's like wyverns where you see in a lot of video games like Monster Hunter and whatnot. But for this one, we're going to focus on dragons you see in a lot of Asian culture. So yeah, let's get started. They're more serpentine too. So we start with, what I like to do is start with like a rough outline of the shape or the body of the dragon. As you know, the Eastern dragons have a large head with a serpentine body, and then arms and legs. Tiny little arms and tiny little legs. So let's say this is our dragon, right? The shape of the dragon that we want to do. I like to go with a few layers. In this one, I'm gonna just take this layer and turn the opacity down. I'm gonna create another layer. And we're gonna start with the head. My dragons, I like to make them very expressive, so I will draw in eyebrows. I like to focus on the eyes first. They look kind of like this, and generally when you see dragons in art, they have a very aggressive look or a very mean look about them. So we're going to do that. Also, dragons have a snout with nostrils like this. And depending on the age of a dragon, they'll have either a mustache and beard, or in my case, he's a little younger. He's just going to have his whiskers. And I'm going to draw the mouth and the lower jaw. Just fixing it here. Dragons have teeth, obviously. I like to have mine in I guess like different lengths depending on where the canines are. So I'll draw the canines first on the top and the bottom, and then I'll fill in the empty space with smaller teeth, just like this. And I have seen in the past that dragons are depicted with tongues like a snake, but you know, we're gonna keep my dragon with its tongue and its mouth. Alright, and typically these dragons have hair, like a mane. If you guys know, Yu Shen from the recent super popular book, Memoirs of a Haunted Hmong Girl, has like a big red mane. I'm just gonna outline a little bit of a mane. It's usually drawn very flowy, and mine's gonna look like that. Looks funny, right? Now it doesn't really look like a dragon without its horns, so we're gonna go in and fill in the space where the horns would be. Horns, you can draw them in any way. I've seen them drawn like a ram where it's like a spiral, but I like to draw mine more like a deer, or you know, with antler-esque, with like an antler-esque look here. So it's gonna look like that. Yep, and that's pretty much the head, right? We'll continue. Some dragons do have like ears too that I've seen, so I guess we can put that in. And they're drawn pointy like that. And from here we will move on to the actual, like, the body, right? So I'll just follow the initial outline that I made. And usually around where its belly or its chest area, it gets a little larger because I can imagine muscles being packed there, or its gut um, being in the belly area there. Here's the tail. We'll draw the tail with some hair. Generally it's the same color as the mane or the hair in the front. There's that. And then now we will focus on making the hands and the arms. And I've seen in past dragons having 4 fingers, so we'll kind of just do that. I like to start off with like round shapes for each of the fingertips, and then I'll connect them to a palm like this. So that, and then we'll finish it off with some sharp nails. I'll go in and I'll fix that like that. But yeah, that would be your hand. 4 fingers and a thumb, right? We'll do the same with the other side, except with the other side. Draw it from a different angle. Okay, and then let's do the legs. I learned how to draw dragon legs from watching a lot of Jurassic Park. These legs are just basically T-Rex legs. You can draw as many toes or as little toes as you want, but I'm gonna stick with 3 for now. Now, the way I'm drawing this dragon isn't how everyone should, or every dragon is going to look like, but this is just how one type of dragon would look like, right? Obviously you can pick and choose different types of pieces of the anatomy that you'd like. I mean, dragons are mystical creatures, so who knows how they look like, right? No one knows, but we take from what we see in the world, and as artists we translate it into something like this. So yeah, that's pretty much a rough, and from here you can do different things, like you can color it, you can add details to it, you can go over it again with another cleaner set of lines, but I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of how I like add scales onto my dragon. So it's the same way you add scales to like a snake drawing. I like to do it like this. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick teaser, a quick I guess lesson on it. But so you go to, let's say we want to work on this part, right? What I do is like a S pattern across a section, right? I'll do this actually for the entire thing. Imagine it covering all of that, all the way to the tip of the tail even. Yeah, I'll do that, but for the sake of time, we're just gonna do this much. Then I'll go in and I'll do it from the other direction. Right? So we'll do this. Right. And from here, we're actually not finished yet. We're gonna turn the opacity down on that. Gonna take it back, create a new layer, and we're gonna start drawing in the scales. Since we have this pattern out, when we draw our scales, we can kind of just follow that pattern, right? And as you can see, hopefully, looks like as you get to the edge of the dragon's body, the scales get smaller. And this is actually how you would see it in nature. You'd see this type of pattern in snakes. So I really like to spend my time and try to capture this pattern because it kind of gives off the idea that this is like, you know, a dragon that you could possibly see out in the world if it was real, right? It's not, dragons aren't real, but you can create the illusion that it can be. So yeah, I'll do this for the entire body. Now like proportionately these scales are going to be much larger, but you can make that pattern smaller to kind of give the idea of more scales. But for this one I'm doing large scales. But yeah, so we'll turn that under layer off, and as you can kind of see, it's got that look, right? And it follows that pattern. As you get near to the edge of the body, the scales get a little bit smaller and they kind of follow that curvature. But yeah, that's just how I draw some of the my dragon. Just a quick video on that, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do more videos through this entire year. I plan on doing more interactions with you guys, so if you follow, please share it with your friends, let people know, and let me know what type of videos you guys want to see. I can do anything, so don't be afraid to message me or put in the comments, and I'll read it through, and then we can kind of decide where to go from there. But appreciate you guys joining and watching, and I hope you like it, and have a good day.